Most people ask the wrong question about Palm Springs. They hear Palm Springs and immediately think, but what about the heat? And I get it. That question is everywhere. I'm Glen Nadeau, and in this video, we're going to answer the heat question honestly. But we are also going to put it in proper context. Because if you are seriously considering buying a home here, relocating here, or planting roots in one of the most extraordinary places in California, you deserve a deeper understanding, not just a weather report. If you have questions, drop them in the comments below. Let's dive in. Here is what most people get wrong. They treat the Palm Springs heat as a central issue, when it is really just one chapter in a much longer, more compelling story. Nobody moves to San Francisco and leads with, "But the fog though." Nobody moves to Miami and says, "The humidity is going to stop me." People fall in love with a place for what it gives them, the lifestyle, the community, the belonging, and then they learn to work around the things that require adjustment. Palm Springs is no different. Yes, summers here are hot. Daily highs are in the low to mid 110s from June through September, with July averaging around 108 degrees, and occasionally pushing past 115 during heat waves. I'm not going to sugarcoat that, but here's an important difference. It is mostly a dry heat, and if you have ever spent a swampy August afternoon in Atlanta, Houston, or Washington, D.C., you already know that dry heat and humid heat are not at all the same experience. In low humidity, your body regulates naturally the way it's supposed to. That does not make 110 degrees feel like a spring afternoon, but it makes it significantly more livable than the temperature alone suggests. The real question is, how do locals actually live here when it is hot? Full-time residents have built a lifestyle around the heat that is elegant in its simplicity. When summer peaks, locals are out the door by 6 or 7 in the morning, hiking, walking dogs, running errands, playing pickleball, or getting around to golfing, all before 10 a.m. when the sun starts making its intentions very clear. Desert mornings in the summer have an inviting golden beauty to them that longtime residents love. Once mid-morning arrives, life moves indoors. Air conditioning in the desert home is an infrastructure. The midday hours become time for the indoor activities, creative work, reading, or cooking. And then when the sun drops beautifully behind the San Jacinto Mountains, the city comes alive again. Outdoor dining on misted patios, year-round events, pool gatherings that drift past midnight, and an unhurried social life that most people only experience on vacation. The snowbirds leave from roughly May through October, the part-time crowd departs, and the city exhales a bit. The roads are calmer, and advanced reservations at your favorite restaurants are less necessary. And whenever you want to beat the heat, it's a short drive to places like Idlewild, a mountain town that runs 20 to 30 degrees cooler. Not to mention ocean towns and cities like San Diego and LA are just hours away. The Palm Springs aerial tramway also climbs over 8,500 feet on Mount San Jacinto, where temperatures run 30 to 40 degrees cooler than the valley floor. It is a literal escape hatch 20 minutes from your front door here in Palm Springs. If you're buying as a year-round resident, a few things become non-negotiable. A robust HVAC system is essential. Many desert homes, especially the mid-century properties Palm Springs is famous for, were designed with passive cooling built in, deep overhangs to block the summer sun, thick insulation, and concrete slab floors. These are features worth prioritizing. A private pool for most full-time residents is less of an amenity and more of a daily ritual, and utility costs during summer are real. Monthly electricity bills can run higher depending on the home's size and efficiency. Solar panels change that math considerably, and given the year-round sun hours this valley receives, solar is one of the first things we look at when evaluating a property together. Here is the trade-off. In exchange for 3 to 4 months of steady heat and a lifestyle shift that most people adapt to faster than they expected, you then get 9 months of paradise that the rest of the country flies in to escape to. High in the 70s and 80s by day, and cool sleeping weather in the 50s to 60s at night. Clear skies in every direction and outdoor living that is embedded in the culture here. This is when the city's cultural life reaches full bloom as well. Annual events include the Palm Springs International Film Festival, Modernism Week, one of the most celebrated mid-century architectural events in the country, and Coachella, all of which bring the world to your backyard. And for a relatively small town, the restaurants and the art scene punch well above anywhere else of this size. Palm Springs holds a distinction very few cities in America can claim. Nearly half of its permanent population identifies as LGBTQ+. This is not a statistic buried in the census report. It is visible in the fabric of daily life, and in coffee shops, the neighborhoods, the city council, and locally owned businesses. It's woven into the culture so completely that it personifies inclusivity the way nowhere else can. For buyers who have spent careers in places where they had to think about which neighborhoods felt safe or which social situations required a certain degree of performance, Palm Springs is a game changer. The built-in community here is real. Organizations, events, social networks that exist year-round, not just during Pride Month. For LGBTQ+ buyers relocating from bigger cities, Palm Springs is often the first place they have seriously considered, where community is not just a neighborhood within the city, but the foundation of it. That distinction matters far more than square footage. The Coachella Valley is getting hotter. In July 2023, Palm Springs recorded the hottest month ever, an average of 99.9 degrees and a peak of 123 degrees. These numbers deserve respect. What this means practically, homes built for the desert climate of 1960 may not be optimally configured for the desert climate of 2035. Energy-efficient construction, upgraded insulation, smart HVAC systems, and solar integration are indicators of the home's long-term livability and cost efficiency. When we evaluate homes together, this lens is part of the process. And if you're curious where Palm Springs actually gets its water from, the answer sits beneath the entire valley. Palm Springs sits above a massive natural aquifer, fed by the mountain's snowmelt and continuously replenished through managed recharge programs using both rainfall and imported water from the Colorado River. Local water officials note that even if the valley simply stopped replenishing it altogether and kept using water at today's rate, the aquifer would still provide more than 100 years of supply. That is not a reason to take it for granted, but it is a reason to feel confident about the long-term water security of this valley. If Palm Springs is even a 10-year dream for you, the smartest move may be to buy now. Purchase the home today, rent it as a short-term rental while life and timing finish aligning. Let that income help carry the mortgage and let equity build quietly in the background. Then when you're ready, when retirement lines up, when the emotional timing is right, the home is already there waiting, and somebody else helped pay for part of it. Palm Springs has a thoughtful short-term rental structure in place to protect residential neighborhoods while still allowing owners to benefit from the city's strong visitor demand. A vacation rental registration certificate and permit are required, and there's a cap on permitted rentals per neighborhood, 20% of homes in a given area. This means choosing the right home in the right location is a strategy, not just a preference. We always review rental eligibility and neighborhood caps up front so you enter in with full awareness. The homes that check every box, lifestyle, rental potential, equity growth, long-term values exist here. Finding them is what I'm experienced in helping you with. Year-round Palm Springs living is extraordinarily for a specific kind of person. Someone who values lifestyle over commute. Someone who'd rather thrive in a community rather than the anonymous energy of a major city. Someone drawn to natural beauty and is willing to adapt their rhythm to the seasons. It is also a particularly meaningful fit for buyers in the $800,000 and above range who are thinking seriously about where their wealth should be working for them. Palm Springs real estate has demonstrated real appreciation over time, and the luxury market here is active, discerning, and increasingly intentional in its attention. That said, Palm Springs may not be the right fit if you cannot imagine adjusting your schedule during summer. If you need major urban infrastructure year-round or the pulse of a big city. Palm Springs in summer has a quieter, more intimate character. Some people find it deeply restorative, others find it too slow. Knowing which camp you are in before you buy something is important. If Palm Springs is on your horizon, this conversation is worth having sooner than you might think. Most people who reach out to me directly aren't ready to move tomorrow. They just want clarity. So if you're buying, selling, investing, or quietly planning a future move to Palm Springs or the Coachella Valley, I'm happy to talk it through with you. You can call or text me directly or use the contact links in the description. No pressure, just perspective. If you haven't yet already, please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more exciting changes, developments, and opportunities taking place here in Palm Springs and the Coachella Valley. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.